Welcome to Madhava 28 Explorer. Today I'm going to show how to do a small animation using the Scratch programming. Scratch is a programming language which helps us to create animations and games. Now let's get into the video. So a sprite is nothing but this cat. This cat is called as a sprite. So now I'm going to change the sprite. You can go to the file and there are many sprites. You can choose the one you want. And I'm choosing the boy. Now you need to cut the cat sprite, and as the boy sprite is very big, I'm making it small. And to make it move, you need to go to the scripts and go to the motion. You can see that you have 10 move 10 steps, and when you click it, you can see that the sprite is moving 10 steps. But to make it move really, go to the costumes, import, and you can see that we have taken the boy for walking A. So you need to take the B, C, D, and E. Now I'm taking the B. Now the C, the D, and finally the E. Now we have taken all the costumes for it. And if you go to the scripts and give it move 10 steps, I'm going to change it as move as 25 steps. And then if you go to the looks, you can see next costume. You should place the next costume under it and go to the controls and take the wait for 1 second. And I'm changing the wait for 1 second as 0.2. And now instead of clicking this each and every time, I'm going to take the repeat for 10 times. Now take the when space key is pressed. So when you press the space key, these all will happen. Now I press the space key. So let's try it one more time. Now I'm pressing the space key. Now you can see that the sprite is moving. Now we completed moving the sprite. Now let's see how to make it speak. Then if you go to the when you go to the looks, you can see that there is say hello for 2 seconds. Now I'm taking it and I'm going to change the 2 seconds as 1. And then we need to take a second sprite that we are making as it's a small conversation between two friends. There are many sprites as you can see. So I'm taking this sprite and I'm making it small. I've done it small. Now if you see, we are making, now we are going to make the sprite 2 to speak. So when the sprite 1 is there saying hello, and the second sprite should wait until the first sprite is coming and walking till the second sprite. Now when we click the space bar, it comes till this and it says hello. From coming here to here, it takes over 4 seconds. So I'm going to controls and wait for 4 seconds. It is as 1 and I'm changing it as 4. Now answering the first sprite said hello, and I'm going to make it as the second sprite is telling hi. So I'm making it as hi for 1 second. And then next, let's go to the first sprite. And while the second sprite is answering, the first sprite should wait for 1 second. Then again, the second sprite is asking, how are you? So again, go to the looks and take say hello for 2 seconds, and I'm changing it as how are you? And go to the second sprite, and when the first sprite is asking how are you, this sprite should wait for 1 second and reply as I am fine. Let's give as it's saying I am fine or 1 second. Now let's see how it's working. Before that, you should go log in the controls, and when space key is pressed, you should place it on top of all these commands. Now let's check whether it is working. Now I'm pressing the space bar, and you can see that the first sprite is working. It's telling hello, and the second sprite is telling hi. The third sprite is asking how are you, and the fourth sprite is telling I'm fine. So in between that, we need to change the gap of it. So the second sprite wait for 1.5 seconds, and for the first sprite, I'm giving it as wait for 1.5 seconds. Now let's see again. You see I'm pressing the space bar. It is working. Now after that, the first sprite is telling, hey, how are you? It need to wait for another 1 second. And now let's see the final result. Now I'm finally making a small change. That is, I'm making the first sprite a bit smaller. And now you can see I'm pressing the space bar. We start to speak. And this is how you're making sprites to move and to speak.